Of course. Thank you very much.
Wow.
So, yes.
Christiana, what an event, eh? Too many notes here, eh?
Absolutely. Cool. What an event. Yeah. So I took some really good notes of everything that happened. So, ladies and gentlemen, as we come to the close of the 6th edition of Joining Forces for Blockchain Standardization, let us begin by expressing our sincere gratitude, first and foremost, to the European Commission and DG Connect for hosting and supporting this important initiative. In particular, we would like to thank Pierre Marot and Emilio Davila Gonzalez for their leadership, insights, and continued commitment to advancing Europe's standardization agenda. A special thanks also go to INATPA, and in particular to Bara Greplova, Cynthia Sarmanyova, Antonio Vargas, and the entire team whose expertise, experience, discipline, dedication, and precision made this event possible. We would also like to warmly thank our chair, Belén Suarez, the INATPA board, and I would also like to thank my co-chair, colleague and friend, Ismael Arribas, for the great cooperation and alignment we had for this event and for always, for everything. So also, I want to thank all of the today's contributions and a special thanks to representatives from EU bodies and regulators, but to everyone that contributed, our speakers, moderators, and participants joining us here in Brussels and online. And if we may add one important note at this point, after recognizing the excellence of all of these contributions today, we would also like to extend a special congratulations to Claudia Suarez, the youngest expert participating in this event. She is less than half the age of most of us. Her presence today is not only inspiring, it is essential. Because if we are serious about building the future of digital infrastructures, we must ensure that we are also building the next generation of experts who will share, who will shape, challenge, and advance this work. Today's discussions have made one thing very clear. Europe is entering a decisive phase where regulation and standardization must evolve together, not sequentially, but in full alignment. We now have a strong and comprehensive regulatory framework, but regulation alone is not enough. It is standards that make these frameworks operational, interoperable, and scalable across borders. Throughout the day, several key messages have emerged. Interoperability and trust infrastructures are foundational. Whether in digital identity, smart contracts, or digital finance, systems must work seamlessly together while preserving privacy, security, and user control. Trust must become measurable. Principles are no longer insufficient. We need conformance testing, certification mechanisms, and reference architectures that translate policy into verifiable implementation. And we are witnessing a clear convergence of technologies. Blockchain, AI, cybersecurity, and digital identity are no longer separate domains. They are becoming interconnected layers of Europe's digital infrastructure, and standardization must reflect that reality. This leads us to a clear conclusion. Standardization is no longer just technical coordination. It is strategic infrastructure policy. Earlier, we heard just now from Emilio about the European Digital Standardization Strategy and the rolling plan. What is particularly important is that Europe is not only organizing internally, it is positioning itself globally. As President Ursula von der Leyen has stated, Europe remains open to cooperation and partnerships and ready to shape global digital development. This vision is reinforced by the EU's international digital strategy, which focuses on building global partnerships through interoperable standards-based infrastructures. And in practice, this means that standards are becoming the mechanism through which Europe projects its regulatory model, its technological vision, and its values globally. The priorities we discussed today, from AI and cybersecurity to digital identity and data interoperability, clearly demonstrate that blockchain and distributed ledger technologies are not peripheral. They are enabling infrastructures across all these domains. And importantly, there is now a clear call for experts to actively contribute to this work. This is where INATPA plays a critical role. What we have seen today is not just alignment, it is convergence. At this point, I would like to invite my colleague Ismael Arribas to briefly present how INATPA standardization strategy supports and anticipates these developments. Thank you.
Thank you, Christiana, for giving us the quick notes from the event. I will be very quick because it's not necessary with this long session where we all have a lot of impactful thoughts and quality content. But I want to highlight key factors. INATBA has got a standardization committee, which is a commitment from the inception of INATBA, and it is precisely on standardization to support the development and adoption of interoperability guidelines, provide contributions to global standards and specifications, and trying to enhance trusted, traceable, and user-centric digital services, and overall maintain or intensify our liaison situation to avoid this fragmentation that we listened today about the standardization efforts. We are liaison category A in TC307, where we have a project in regards of governance for DAOs, which is the approved work item T technical specification 254821, which right now we are under the first drafting, and we are going to coordinate thematic events with a good rhythm and dynamics, where we invite you to join our efforts in the INATBA. And relevant for the standardization are also the interoperability and the governance working groups, where we are contributing. And overall, for instance, there is a new blockchain forensic potential working group in ISO TC307, but in the CEN-CENELEC, Cyprus was with us today, the head of the standardization, introducing in regards of the cybersecurity. We are going during this year to go through that new working group in CEN-CENELEC about cybersecurity. For sure, we will continue keeping this seminar as the 7th joining forces for standardization, for blockchain standardization next year. And I will just confirm all the appreciations that my colleague Christiana gave to the audience, to the Insight audience, to the European Commission and staff, and to the executive team as well of INATBA. Without all of these efforts, it could not be possible to maintain this challenge of this year with this hybrid format. So I really appreciate and join INATBA for helping us to harmonize globally with this challenge that we identified today, and the future that is in our hands, and we are protagonists of it. Thank you very much, and have a lovely journey today and the week ahead.
Thank you, everyone.